Thomas Cochrane was a famous Scottish Royal Navy officer. He inspired many fictional characters and even featured in the book Sharpe's Devil.
This is later in my career. After the Poms had kicked me out. You Scotch bastard.
Whilst working for Britain, he went from esteemed naval officer to disgraced stock investor.
I was nae too popular.
After leaving England, he helped found the Chilean Navy in 1818 and then joined the Brazilian Navy in 1822 and then hired by the Greek Navy in 1825 and then was back in the Royal Navy in 1832. A career to rival Horatio Nelson's.
And some people actually say that Cochrane was better than Nelson. He just nae got the credit. I'm only joking. It's actually me, Thomas Cochrane, with a bit of my trademark deception there. Better than Nelson? Don't be daft.
In this video, we're looking at one of his earlier battles. The HMS Speedy versus the Gamo. The odds were 6-1.
I'm Brian Pilchard, and I love history. Using my skills in effects, clothes, and disguises, I'm going to take you on a journey back in time for an adventure in Super History! History! I'm the fictional character, Horatio Hornblower, who was based off of Thomas Cochrane. And I'm Captain Jean-Luc Picard, who's based on the fictional character, Hornblower, who's based off of Thomas Cochrane. And I'm making a Star Trek fan movie where I play Captain Picard, who's based on Captain Picard from the real Star Trek, who's based on the fictional character, Hornblower, who's based off of Thomas Cochrane.
At the age of 17, Cochrane joined the Royal Navy as a midshipman in 1793. He served on the HMS Hind, which was captained by his uncle, Alexander Cochrane, who later in his career was one of the Royal Navy's commanders during the burning of Washington.
And playing Admiral Sir Alexander Cochrane, we've got a cameo by Russell Crowe. Oh, thanks, it's good to be here doing this cameo to pass on the torch and my approval to the next generation of people playing Cochrane, if you know what I mean. And for those of you who don't know, Russell played Jack Aubrey, who was based on Thomas Cochrane in the masterpiece Master and Commander. I did. Great movie. Unfortunately, Return of the King came out in the same year and robbed it of all its Oscars. I'm not bitter about it. Over it now. You know what I mean. What's my line? I'm just so excited to have you here, I forgot to write you any lines. You know what they should have done for a Passing of the Torch cameo for Daniel Craig's Bond? They should have had Pierce Brosnan playing M.
In March 1800, Thomas Cochrane took command of the brig sloop HMS Speedy.
The captain's on deck. Ship's band, a tune if you please. Right, that was a bit crap. Excuse me? I thought the Marine band would have been a bit bigger. I used to have a full band, but all of the members are either dead or missing. Right, them were the days. Okay, so actually thought we might get somewhere.
He operated in the Mediterranean Sea, escorting supply vessels and capturing them. His ship also spent a lot of time evading larger ships named frigates.
For the frigates in this video, I'm using a model of the Russian frigate, the Orion.
It was launched in 1668 to protect the supply lines on the Caspian Sea. It was Russia's first large ship to be produced. Unfortunately, it didn't get to do much, because in August 1669, in Astrakhan...
Oh no, not the Cossacks! Oh, don't burn any of the frigates! I said don't burn any of the frigates. You've burnt all of the frigates!
As the Speedy had no chance against frigates,
no chance against that.
Cochran had to use his natural talents of cunning and deception. He'd fly false flags to hide that they were British and create decoys to misdirect pursuers. On one occasion, they couldn't avoid a ship inspection, so came up with a cunning ruse.
Hey you, get your trews off. We're Dutch. Look at his bug eyes. Well, everything seems to be in order.
They'd do anything to avoid frigates. During his time in the Mediterranean, in 1801, Malta, Cochran bought a ticket to a French royalist fancy dress ball. He decided to dress as a common sailor.
Look, he's dressed as one of us. Fancy a person of his position lowering himself to our level. What a funny guy. Lads, you know I'm just doing it 'cause I love ya. Say hello to my little friend. What do you think you're doing, baby? Excuse me? You can't come in here dressed like that. Dressed as what? Dressed like the working class. It's just a costume. This is a royalist ball, baby, and we're here because of people like you, baby. It's just not cricket. Get him out of here! You should be thrown out for looking like a big Jessie. Don't you talk to me about my costume. It's your costume that's caused all the problems, baby!
That night, Cochran was challenged to a duel for the next morning.
Shot me in the pills! That's just not cricket! Oh yeah, great scenery if you know what I mean. Look Sam, there's Boat Boy! That is for Peter Weir, that is for Lee Smith, and that is for my old gaffer, if you know what I mean. Back to the history. Sir, I heard Nelson spoke to you. Could we press you for an anecdote? The first time Nelson ever spoke to me was at dinner, and I was no more than a wee midshipman like me brother. He leant over with an intense stare, and he said, "Cochrane, can you pass the salt?" I always try and say it just like he did. Let me have another go. Cochrane?
Pass the salt.
No, I know. Crackers, man. I think we should have a crack at one of the frigates. Nae bother. They've got about 300 men. We've only got about 50. They might call us a big Jessie. A Jessie? We're doing it. The cannons can't fire low enough.
Get ready to board.
We heard that!
We need to get this flag up. Mr. Guthrie, send up the rest of the men. Jesse! Hey you, take this!
Oh, the flag's up! Suppose the battle's over! There you go! The Sword of Surrender!
The British casualties were 3 killed and 9 wounded. The Spanish casualties were 14 killed and 41 wounded, 305 captured. After the battle, Cochran was promoted to post captain. The El Gamo was sold and used as a merchant ship. As the El Gamo was not used by the Royal Navy, Cochran got a small amount of prize money. Although he didn't make the biggest profit, Cochran made his reputation as a fighting captain.
Well, thanks for watching, and if you're a patron, thanks for helping me produce this video, and also... Oi! History boy! I just saw your video on Thomas Cochrane, and it was absolute shit. Well, go and make your own video. Alright, I will then!
This video's crap and I'm telling you which bits are wrong and what you should do. Is the name. History's the game. Is the name. History's the game.
Okay. Oh, the battery's going down. Alright, so the uniforms in this, the uniform was wrong that Cochran was wearing. That was a post-captain's uniform. Would have looked a bit different. The El Gamo was a Xebec frigate, so it would have looked a bit different. The guns on the Speedy were probably not that big. They would have looked a bit different. The Speedy pulled away from the El Gamo's boarding parties at least one more time, so that would have looked a bit different. As for the boarding action, it's known that Cochrane's boarding parties sometimes put bayonets on their arms to be used with the cutlass, so we don't know if that happened for this one. May or may not have looked a bit different. Also, the group led by Cochrane's brother darken their faces to look like Barbary pirates to instill fear on the Spanish. That would have looked a bit different. So there you go. That's how you make a video, Brian, on history.
England expects every person to do their duty and watch the playlist.